wow. It said end stream. Check that out. It says we are live. All right, let's see if we are live. I just want to make sure. We are live on Facebook. We are live on Twitter and Instagram and all those good social media networks. I'm here with my good buddy Al Bandiero, legendary radio personality, actor, screenwriter, producer. So great to have you with us, Al. How you doing?
It's very good. Thank you. Now, am I understanding this is your maiden voyage tonight?
This is it. This is the very first show.
Salute to you. Good luck, Jim.
Thank you. Thank you. So we had a little technical difficulties coming in here, but that's okay. It's the first time. So
that's all right.
We'll work that out. No big deal.
Yep.
But so great to have you with us. I'm so excited about this event you have coming up, Al. A night of nostalgia and great stories, right? From stories from your legendary career. Fill us in a little bit about the event coming up.
Well, this one-man show, I've been approached over the years by many people to tell the stories of my career and the people that I've worked with in different parts of the entertainment industry, from radio stations to what really happened behind the scenes at radio stations, that the stories were crazy, how music gets played, and the stories of certain artists that I got to work with, into the movie side. And they all knew these big names that I've worked with over my career. What I want to talk about some of these stories. And I kind of always passed, and they kept at it. And we finally said yes. So March 9th, here in the New York, New Jersey area, at a place that is called Leneve's on March 9th, we're going to do a one-man show. The tickets are on sale right now. What's great about it is that if we're going to do a show, we wanted to make it as big as possible. So for the price of a ticket, you get dinner, and the food's really good there. You hear these crazy stories, stories that people have experienced as the best years in their life, from my stories on the radio and movies, TV shows, commercials, and the stories about what went on behind the scenes, and how sometimes, a lot of the times, how crazy the stories were, how they came about. And they're all funny, insane stories that people think, well, you're just going to work every day and you do what you do. But in the entertainment business, that's really not the way it works a lot of the times. And the artists that I've worked with, Sylvester Stallone, and what it was like to be friends with him, and then him giving me my first movie, which was a gigantic movie, because generally your first movie is some little $2,000 movie in your grandmother's basement. So I got thrown into the deep end of the pool, way deep into the pool. So it's either sink or swim, to recording artists that I've worked with over the years, of being the first to play Madonna, spending days with Cyndi Lauper as a partner, Talia Shire in all of the Godfather, the Rocky movies. These are all people that I worked with one-on-one personally. Lionel Richie. Oh man, there's so many people that.
Kiss, right? You worked with Kiss.
Yeah, Kiss as well. Well, the Kiss memory for me was the interview, but where it took place was very special and very nostalgic, and they were great. My first interview on the first TV show that I was offered was Journey. So once again, you're not interviewing an unknown band. You're interviewing some people that were big at the time, and so your reputation is on the line. And there's something about all of those memories, and I put it into one night. And that night also, an evening with Al Bandiero. Oh, by the way, the tickets, just go to albandiero.com. It's simple, albandiero.com, and you can pick 2 tiers of tickets. From what I understand, people are now group texting with their friends.
Oh, wow.
It's a Saturday night. Let's go out. It's dinner, a show, and we have one of the best in the industry, Tommy Nappy, that's going to be spinning classics to dance to. It's going to be a great night, a VIP night, certain tickets of a meet and greet, and I get to hear their stories during when I was on these radio stations or in the movies or on these TV shows that they watched. And we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a good night. I hope you're coming.
Absolutely, I will be there, Al. Also, it's very close to New York, right? It's not far. It's over the bridge,
Yeah,
right?
Haledon, New Jersey is literally just a few minutes on the New Jersey side of the George Washington Bridge. And the great thing is that this facility has free parking.
Oh, nice.
So you're not only getting all of that for the night, you don't have to pay to park. It's just free and you walk right into the venue.
Right. And you have a lot of surprises, I hear, right?
Now we have one for sure, and I keep getting asked, tell us. Well, then it won't be a surprise. So we have one for sure, and it has to do with one of the people that I mentioned and a little concert. That's all I can say.
Right.
Not giving anything else away. It's going to be a night that people will treasure, especially in this crazy world that we live in, to escape that for one night and have memories.
Absolutely. And it's going to be hosted by some of my good friends, the Wise Guys, right?
Yeah, the Wise Guy podcast. They're not. It's not going to be on live, but the guy's going to be opening the show, introducing me, and then once I walk out, the show begins. But over the course of these last month, I have found tapes. I have found videos. I have found pictures that I have not seen in years with these people. And once they go up on the screen and I talk about the journey, it's going to trip people's mind. Oh, I remember this and I remember that. And that's really what it's about, to just have a really great time.
I want to hear about all those behind the scenes at Rocky IV, man.
Oh, there were so many. And the thing about it that we were talking about before is when you go out to dinner on a Saturday night, what do you get? Dinner, and you go home. And that's it. With our show, you get dinner. You see a one-man show. Great memories all night long. You get a Q&A at the end of the show, and then you dance to classics. It's phenomenal. And you meet other people in the room that share the memories that you have. So it's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, Lenive's, I mean, it looks like a fantastic banquet hall. And as we were talking about before, you said the food is very good, right?
Yeah, we tasted the food, and it was very good. Not your typical. And we've got so many crazy, funny stories, from movies to the iconic radio stations that I was fortunate enough to be on, that I'm told that was the soundtrack to many people's lives every day.
Absolutely.
So we get to tell those inside stories that night that people are just going to be amazed, and they're going to laugh a lot of how crazy things worked out. Sometimes in the middle of a show, sometimes in the middle of a shoot, that just crazy things happened, which is a lot of fun to talk about.
Now, you started your radio career in Philadelphia, right, Al?
Yeah. Well, that was like my first big market. Still attending school in those days and having a job, a daytime job, so to speak, at the same time.
Right.
And it was just 90 miles away. So for me, my dream was to come home.
Right.
So I worked at that every day, and just stopped little short of becoming a pain to the stations in New York. Hey, it's me again. You got something? Hey, it's me again. You got something? But I guess my tenacity paid off.
Now, what do you think?
You just had
KTU such a legend that it was.
I'm sorry.
What made 92 KTU the legend that it was? I know it came along at the right time.
Well, that's the number one reason, that timing is everything in life. It came along at a time that people were ready for something new, and there was a lifestyle that exploded.
Right.
You capitalized on a lifestyle. It wasn't something like, let's just put this on and see what happens. So to have that level of a station in the number one market in the country and have a 13 share is, for the audience that's listening, what that means is 13% of 8 million people were listening to, do the math, that's astronomical.
Right.
A city that has 8 million people, and total between Long Island and New Jersey, easy over 10 million. Wow. So take 13% of that, and all those people were listening to one place, one station, and it was just crazy. We were everywhere. You were literally everywhere.
Absolutely. One of the only stations too to play 12-inch records, right? That's unheard of today, of course.
Yeah. We at that time, we played the long versions
Yeah.
of rhythmic music, so
Hmm.
dance music. Pardon me. So it was great for us if we needed to go to the bathroom because we had we had one song that played for 10 minutes. So you can go to the bathroom, come back, freshen up a little bit, and that song was still playing. So
That's so
it was
awesome. And I know you did a lot of the clubs at that time. So many clubs that you've been associated with, and so many of those great artists, and so many people associate you with those disco artists and the songs of those times. But you are also a classic rock fan,
well, my favorite has always been classic rock. Always
right?
was, always will. When I was doing my top 40 days, we played the rock.
Hmm.
We played the singles that came off albums. So that was always my favorite. And getting a chance later on in my career to play that again was, happy to me. But I think that I've done enough of formats that the genres were different, but I enjoyed each one of them. But classic rock has always been my favorite. Sometimes what you do personally and what you do for a living is two different things.
Exactly. Yes. Absolutely.
That there is a tendency that most people say, "Oh, well, that's what he's playing every day, so that's what he likes."
Right.
And it wasn't that I didn't like it. I would go home and listen to what I personally liked. But however, this was my job, so I played this format and I separated the two every day.
Right.
Because if you don't, you can't eat the same thing every day. You would get bored of it.
Of course. Yeah.
So to keep me sharp, I would go home and listen to what I enjoyed listening to, which
Hmm.
was albums and, as I said, classic rock. But then when I went to work, depending on the station, I would play a completely different format.
I know we worked together at WPLJ, and you got to
Yeah.
play some of that rock when you
I
worked.
got, I got to play that classic rock again, and
Yeah.
for me, as I said to you, I loved it. I enjoyed playing that classic rock again. We had a great time, and I got to meet you, and we
Yeah.
spent a lot of times together, and it was, we had a good time.
Yeah, PLJ was a fun time. At the time when I was there with Rocky Allen and so many of the great personalities like yourself.
Rocky was a great guy to me,
Yeah,
very supportive of what I did, and I in return supported what he did.
exactly. Now I'm a big Elvis fan, and I know you are too, right, Al? You love Elvis, right?
I leaned more towards. The the artists like Elvis and people like that. What astounded me was not just the body of work. Uh, what astounds me is always these people come out of nowhere
Hmm.
and just explode. Um, Probably if I had to pick any art, the Beatles, uh, for me personally, is their body of work, and that's my favorite because that's part of the classic rock.
Right,
Uh, so, but that's what I enjoy. Not necessarily only the body of work, but how it came about. Till today, I've always interested in this guy came out of nowhere, or this band came out of nowhere,
right,
and but again, as we said, it's being at the right place in the right time, and I don't necessarily think that you can plan that. You're just in the right place at the right time.
right. I want to go back a little bit. You influenced me growing up. I was listening to you on the old 92 KTU. My teenage years and stuff. But who influenced you? Who did you listen to on the radio? And what were some of your favorite radio stations?
Growing up, I think everybody in New York, and I remember literally as a really young guy, a kid. I mean,
Mhm.
easily, I wasn't even in double digits yet.
Right.
Uh, that my mom would have a top 40 station on in the morning. So when, as any young kid does, they don't want to get out of bed. So instead of her coming in over and over again, she would put on a rock and roll station.
Mhm.
Oh, that is my music. I would like it. And that would get me going. And her philosophy was don't play her music in the morning because that would bore me. I'd want to stay in bed.
Right.
So she would crank it up loud enough that my dad was already gone to work. And she'd crank it up loud enough that I would hear the music that I liked, get dressed, come out to breakfast, and get my day going. So there was a psychological thing. So she would have on stations like WABC.
Okay.
And then my mother was way before her time. She was a very hip person, way before her time. When FM started to creep in, she would also then turn the dial into to find me an FM top 40 station
Right.
to keep me going. So those were the influences that that I had in the very early stage of cousin Brucey and finally meeting him. You go back to when you're
Right.
6, 7 years old.
Absolutely.
I'm not too sure how he took that when I said but it was an influence from 6 or 7 getting up to going to school and
Right.
listening to these guys on the radio, and that was the generation that came before you.
Right. Now, when did you decide you wanted to be a radio personality? Was that in high school, or did you
Yeah,
take it in school?
yeah. I can't go in too much because it's a story that I'm going to tell on my one night show. But
Okay.
yeah, it was around that time that I'll explain to people later. It was, believe it or not, between that and playing professional baseball.
Yes.
Um, and that story I'll tell on my one night
Yeah, I
show.
was going to mention some of that, but yeah, you had a great baseball experience. You could tell us at your one
So
man show.
it came down to which one do you want to do?
Right.
And I've been asked that when you didn't take the baseball career that you could have had, did you ever miss that? And I said, well, I'd probably be retired, calling the games, signing a lot of autographs on the baseballs and bats,
Uh,
and hopefully maneuvering my way to my Yankees. And
right.
that probably would have been my dream. But something else, another door opened up, and I cannot complain.
Yeah. Amazing career. You were also a teacher in broadcasting school, which was ATS, which is the school I went to. You
Yeah,
were there when I was there. I mean, you were not my teacher. I wanted you as a teacher, but I wound up with Johnny Allen as a teacher.
yeah.
But it was
They came to me. The school came to me as they do with like a lot of people, that professors that they put in college or speakers that they put in college, even
Mhm.
today, that they want some special people to come in maybe for a semester if you
Right.
have the time and teach with the level that you're on, that these people are listening to you.
Mhm.
And I said yes for like a semester, and I got to tell you, I had a ball. They said just go in, tell them what the real deal is, what it's really like, of which I did. I did it in an honest way,
Right.
uh, and I had a lot of fun doing it. And then again, going to my day job, so
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
That was a fun time. I think Moya Phillips was the principal or the owner of the school at that point in time, and
You might remember, yeah.
yeah, good people. But
Mhm.
yeah, from there, and I worked at some little radio stations up in northern New Jersey, and I remember Al going back and forth and in all types of weather, or coming out of Brooklyn on Route 80 in the middle of snowstorms, and I'm saying to myself, did Al Bandiero ever do this?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. We all think that way.
Uh,
I've caught myself asking people, and as you're asking the questions of the people that came before you,
right,
and what they had to do, you really don't believe that they also had to go through these paces, because we see people where they are now.
right,
And when I first met Sly, Stallone, and we started talking with a friendship at first, we talked one on one about what he had to go through, what he had to do.
yeah,
There were other people that, Robert De Niro and people like that I got a chance to talk to,
right,
ask those questions. And as they're telling you the answers, just like you just said, did Al have to walk through the snow? And the answer is always, yeah. Uh, because those experiences of the tough days and the days of you uh, hopefully working up the ranks uh, instill in you a drive that
right,
if you can't cut this, you're not going to make it.
absolutely.
It's that no matter what happens, I'm going to keep going until I get what I want.
I also want to mention that you were the first radio personality to play Far From Over in New York City.
That's true. That's true. I broke it, and which is the terminology of the first to play it, and that's how I met Sylvester Stallone because he directed that movie. So because of that, that's how we met and just started to talk and stayed in communication with each other. And it's part of my one-man show about the stories of him taking me under his wing when I really didn't ask that, or would I ask that? I would love to, but he started to become a little bit of a mentor of doing different things with your life and being open to it. And I figured, well, he's a pretty good teacher that I'm getting for free, and he just the little things that he taught me, I still use till today in my career.
Yeah, and you spent time with him at home, right? I mean, you had dinner with Stallone, and
many times at his home in LA. And when I would go out there, and then I finally moved out there and did a TV series. But when I was out there just visiting with him, the inspiration was to keep working for something because this is what you can get. You don't put your focus on that. The work is the focus, but the reward is this is a possibility, and it happened to him.
Right.
It happened to other people. So sometimes becoming friendly with somebody of that level shows you what you can achieve if you keep going. But the entertainment business, you got to have a tough skin. You have that tough skin, but you have to believe in yourself. And if you believe in yourself, anything in life, you believe in yourself and let no go in one ear and come out the other.
Right.
Just keep your goal in mind of what you want to do, and that's the way I've always been.
And you started your own production company now with your wife.
Yeah, my wife is a writer, so she writes everything we have in our production company, both films and TV. And we had an offer on the table to do a 3-picture deal, 3-film deal. But with our attorney, we decided to pass on that deal. But in what we have in our company, we are very confident that whether it's an individual, a group of people, or a company, we'll get another offer. And we don't say that not in boasting, but we're very confident in the stories that we have.
Right, and it's Because I Can Productions.
Right, Because I Can Productions, yeah. And my wife and I are, we were just talking about it tonight, of husband and wife dealing with each other as it is in a marriage is one thing. Now you have to work with each other, which sets apart a completely different challenge. And we have good days, and we've been asked, like, how do you guys can work together? And we've got some challenging days, and I'll leave it at that because I think she's in the other room.
You lived 14 years, I think, in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
How do you like that time of your life? Did you like LA?
Oh, I loved LA. For me, even though as a native New Yorker, I love warm weather. There's something about me that wintertime comes in New York, and not on top of that, I was born in, maybe because I was born in a brutal cold month, which is February. So maybe once I came out, I was like, I don't like this. I don't like this. This is too chilly. I've always liked warm weather. So moving to Los Angeles for the business, but it got me a chance every day to walk out into beautiful weather, and the topography that Southern California has was fantastic. But then the industry, the movie and film industry, actually moved to New York. Most of the stuff is shot here now with so many brand new state-of-the-art studios, not only in New York, but in New Jersey as well. So as a filmmaker and TV, all the stuff that we want to produce, there's so many venues between New York and New Jersey that you don't have to be in Los Angeles anymore.
Yeah, even in Brooklyn now, they have the big, huge Steiner Studios down at the Navy Yard.
Beautiful. They have a great facility. They're just one. There are many of them, but that particular place is very cool.
One of the favorite movies that you did on television was called Go For It. I love that movie. I enjoyed watching it so much. Tell us a little bit about behind the scenes being that teacher.
So Go For It was a little bit in the vein of Flashdance that everybody has seen. And the lead character in the movie had the goods as a dancer. She was just a little bit on the shy side and didn't believe in herself. But the
Right.
story was there were people in her family that were really telling her, you know what, just marry somebody and you'll be fine. And, don't worry, give up on your dream. And I play her teacher. And her teacher is the guy who constantly pushes her because he discovered her one day without her knowing how well she can dance.
Hmm.
The backstory with my character was my character gave up on his dream, never told that to anybody, and didn't want the same thing to happen to her. The thing about it was, as he's pushing her to never give up, the two of them are clashing heads because they're very similar. So
Right.
my character really didn't take any crap from anybody, especially a student. But at the same time, he never wanted her to give up on the dream. And there's some real highs and lows in the movie where myself and the student go toe to toe.
Right.
But the end is a different story, and I don't want to give that away. It's called Go For It. Gina Rodriguez was in it,
Uh-huh.
that has gone on to do spectacular things with her career.
Right.
Amy Garcia is the student that I go toe to toe with.
Oh, man.
So
Yep. Such a great movie.
yeah, I got to work with great people, and we were fortunate enough to win a very important film festival in Los Angeles as best movie in the film festival.
Oh, wow.
So that was the thrill of all of the movies that are in film festivals to be voted the best.
Right. You also were part of The Confession, right? 2004.
Yeah, that was a short that I did. That was interesting. I played a prison guard that
Okay.
got his ass kicked. Probably not one of my favorite roles in the sense of what I had to go through in prison. Nothing else,
Right.
none of that other stuff you hear. Just some violence. But that was an interesting experience. And then, of course, the TV series that I did, Desire. And
Desire, yeah, and also some commercials. You did a lot of commercials,
I
right?
did a lot of commercials. I did. We were just watching one the other day for the one man show that we actually found on YouTube. YouTube, you can find everything.
Yeah.
And one of them was when my agent called me, he said, "Hey, they want you to come in and do a commercial for Terminex." And I said to her, "I'm not doing a Terminex commercial with bugs and stuff. No, no. This one's different." And I said, "Well, how so?" So I had gone, and my character hates bugs in the commercial.
Right.
So the one way of not getting bugs into your house, my character's brainstorm is to build a house out of concrete, and everything in the house is concrete. So bugs don't like it, including the sofa, concrete, the table, concrete. And the funniest part of the movie was my bed was concrete. So it actually wound up being a very, very funny commercial.
Right.
But, I did a lot of them.
Now I know your production company was working on Blue Betrayal. What's going on with that?
Yeah, so we have 3 different films right now, movies that are in different stages of production. All the screenplays are completed, and as I said earlier, we were going to go into. We were thinking about taking this offer from a capital investment company, and that was one of the films that they wanted us to do. But we ultimately passed on their deal. But now other people are contacting our attorney to also see what we have. So that film, among others, we have a horror movie, and we have an espionage film with a woman in the lead.
Oh,
So
wow.
you would see James Bond or Matt Damon in those movies that they were espionage type movies. My wife decided to write the lead character as a woman. And she can go toe to toe with any man. So it'll be an interesting film once we get it made.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And also, I wanted to talk about Red Silk Carpet Magazine. My friend Jules just featured me in this magazine. It's an international celebrity Hollywood magazine all over the world. And I know you're coming up in the next issue.
Yeah, we just got off the phone, and this absolutely wonderful writer, Jules. And I want to make sure that I get her name right. Is it Lavali? I,
I
I
believe
think I
I
think
believe Lavalley. I
and
believe.
Jules, if you're watching, I apologize, but what a really nice woman. Great.
Absolutely.
She's going to do a full spread on my wife and I working as a team in our production company, uh,
Correct.
and there's supposed to be an added surprise with that issue that once it's out, we'll let people know. But she's actually going to do a few pages, which is great, covering what we have and what we're going to do, and
Oh,
we're very appreciative of her doing that.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be great. I mean, she did a great job with an interview that she did for me, which
Yeah, I
was
saw that.
in this
Yeah,
month's issue, which was awesome. Was really awesome. She's fantastic,
yes,
Jules.
she is.
But anyway, what else do you have coming up, Al? Anything else you want to mention as far as projects coming up with the production company, or?
Yeah, the production company that we're doing, when you're doing this and you're making your own movies, it's a full time job.
Yeah,
You're out there talking to investors, you're out there talking to investment companies, you're out there talking to people that you want to join you in this journey of directors, of cinematographers, and you keep your ducks in a row. And it's a full time job, and at the same time, I still work on other people's movies. My wife still writes for other people. So it's a balancing act of working in other productions as well as moving your stuff ahead, and her writing for other people or punching up a script for other people at the same time, tweaking the ones that we have to move them ahead. So
right.
it's from the time you get up in the morning to the time you go to bed. This is your job if you're working for other people, or you're working to move your own projects ahead. It's challenging, but I love it.
Yeah, I know Marlene has been busy with her latest book as well, right on Dante.
This is her second book now, based on a story about what happened with one of our German shepherds. And
Hmm.
the first book, it was released on Amazon, Dante's Cool Wheels,
Right.
and now she's got just released a follow-up book that you can get on Amazon.com. It's Dante's Cool Wheels 2, Believe, and it's just about he came down with a stroke on his back legs, his rear legs paralyzed him, but which was a true story that we made him believe you can still get up and do anything you want, and
Absolutely.
that means if we have to put you in a walker to make the wheels your back legs, which we did, he got up and he ran everywhere and did whatever he did and lived to be 14 and a half years old.
Amazing.
So we just made him feel, don't matter that your back legs don't work, the wheels work.
Yeah.
Uh, and these two books teach children to, no matter what happens, to never give up. And they also teach parents some lessons about getting their child over a hurdle. Uh,
Right.
and they live it through Dante in these books. And so far, it's done well. And in the future, we would like to do an animation series based
Yeah.
on Dante and his friends now that he meets in the neighborhood and the park.
Oh,
Uh,
that'd be so great.
yeah, so that's another project that we would like to turn into animation.
Hmm. Now,
Those,
when you're not working, do you have any hobbies? What do you do for fun?
I love sports. I still love
The
whenever
Yankees. I know you like the
I
Yankees.
love my Yankees. This year, on paper, it's paper, but with some of the trades and acquisitions that we made, it looks like a promising year, but you don't know until the season starts. But it looks promising. At least it's promising right now. Uh,
Mhm.
and I'm very much into fitness. I really enjoy it. I'm in the gym 5 days a week.
Nice.
And I just enjoy the challenge of it, but what it does for you, not only physically, but what it does for you mentally. That a
Right.
lot of people don't realize that they think a gym is all about physical, and of course it is, but what it does to get your endorphins going mentally.
Yeah.
Uh, just sometimes you have a tough day, you get in the gym and start to work out a little bit.
Makes you feel a world better for sure.
What I do is I like to start the day because my gym opens as early as 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, wow.
If I'm on a set shooting, that day, I could still get a workout in and get to the set early in the morning. And I love wine. So I'm always tasting new wines, red wine. I'm not a big white wine. My wife is, but I'm not a big white wine lover. But
Right.
I love my red wines. And I guess with the Italian American blood, that's inherited in your blood.
Right.
And that's what I like to do. Just have a real nice glass of wine, watch a great movie, maybe that I've never heard of the filmmakers before, and discover something and, support other filmmakers.
Yeah, I know you used to collect watches. Do you still do that?
Yeah, oh yeah, I still have watches.
Mhm.
I have a lot of them. I don't sell them. Uh,
Mhm.
for me, I keep them for me. Um, Most of them are new. Every once in a while, I might pick up something that is worth what you're paying for. Watches to me are very important.
Right.
It's it goes with you. Uh, it's not just looking at your phone to see the time. Watches to me, I love interesting, elegant watches. I really don't wear any jewelry, but
Right.
uh, I love watches.
Awesome. Also, you just did a promo for your one-man show coming up
Yeah.
on March 9th, of course. I hope everybody goes out there and gets tickets at Bandiero.com. But in the background, you had some cool memorabilia from Rocky. Tell us
Oh,
about some of that memorabilia you have.
yeah. I have. I even put it up on social media today.
Uh-huh.
I actually have and were given by Sly the shorts that he wore
Yeah.
in the scene that I'm in, uh,
Mm.
as a just as a thank you, and how it came about, which was a total surprise. Uh,
Right.
that it was my first film, and the production designer and people like that. I guess I didn't know about it. They all got together and said, "Hey, why don't we give Al a gift?
Right.
He'll remember it." Oh, I remembered it. And then I still have the original script.
Oh, wow.
He signed and put a very special note to me that I will have forever. That he signed, and things that happened during the ring that splashed out on the page,
Oh, wow.
that I left there. I didn't clean it. That kind of memorabilia to me was something that I'll always be grateful that he gave me that shot at that level.
Right. We just lost Carl Weathers. Did you ever have any contact with him at all?
Yeah, I know. Obviously, we were saddened that he just passed. And sometimes you're in the same movie with another
Yeah.
actor, but you're not in the same scene.
Right.
And my scene was calling the fight between Rocky and the Russian. Carl's scene was before,
Right.
with him and the Russian. I didn't call that fight. I was just in
Right.
fight with Rocky and the Russian. But years later, when I was living in LA, of all the crazy things, I used to go up into this park up on Laurel Canyon, right off Laurel Canyon.
Hmm.
I would walk my dog in this park. And one day, as I'm walking by, this man is sitting on the park bench by himself. And as
Oh,
I
wow.
got closer, I realized it was Carl Weathers. So we did the same project, and I walked up to him. I introduced myself, and he recognized me, and obviously I recognized him.
Right.
And, oh, hi. And was I said, I didn't get a chance to work with you. And we just sat and we chatted for a while about what he was doing. And he asked me how things going for me in LA. He was very nice. And it was just, we were the only two guys in this area in the park with my dog.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we sat and we chatted for a while. And again, it was being in the right place at the right
At
time.
the right time.
If I
Yeah.
was 5 minutes later, he might have left, or earlier. Maybe he didn't get there yet, but it was great to be alone, one on one. Carl Weathers, myself, and my dog, just talking about the industry. And
Amazing.
it's the way things, play out in your life sometimes.
Sure. I know you had contact with Burt Young. We just lost him recently,
Yeah,
too.
Bert, another man that passed.
Yeah.
Bert treated me so well, in the times of going to his homes, and
Mhm.
those stories that I'm going to share. But,
Right.
he would invite me to dinner.
Oh,
And
wow.
he would make, being Italian, he made the sauce,
Oh, wow.
and we would eat. like sometimes like on a lunch, we would have the sauce, and then we would go out shopping
Mm.
on Rodeo Drive, and you remember those things for forever, and just how well I was treated when they easily were such at a different level. They could have just, poo-pooed you. I don't have time for you, but that did
Of
not
course.
happen to me, and so I'm very grateful to that.
That's so awesome. Yeah, I mean, so many great people in that movie, boy, and what an experience. And I know you're going to tell a lot of those stories. March 9th at Neves, right?
The place is called the Neves Banquet Hall in Haledon, New Jersey. Just go to albandiero.com. If you grew up listening to certain radio stations in the metropolitan area, you watched certain movies, you watched the TV series and other shows that I was on, classic commercials. I'm going to just be telling all these absolutely insane stories. It's not just, oh, I walked in and I did the job and I went home. These are crazy stories how a lot of them happened. And they're funny stories. They're not anything about throwing anybody under a bus or lying about things. These are just funny, insane stories that people who are on the opposite end of listening or watching get a kick out of.
And some behind the scenes stories of radio stations too.
Oh yeah. The crazy stuff that you turn that dial on every day and you hear, that's all you know. But there are very, very funny stories about the behind the scenes things that while you're listening live is actually for true life going on. The audience has no idea about. And then within the show, after all those stories are told and we do a Q&A, as we mentioned, then the audience is going to get a chance to dance to classics for the rest of the night.
Oh, that's so awesome. Also, again, albandiero.com for tickets.
Yes.
It starts about what time? 6:30, Al?
Dinner is going to be at 6:30, and probably the show time will start at about 7:30.
Free parking.
Yeah, free parking.
Q&A, meet and greet tickets available too.
There's VIP tickets available, and we get to meet privately and take pictures. And I guess they're going to put them in a frame. They have just a whole night of to add the memories and add another memory of all the other memories of that night. And with what's going on in the world today, who doesn't want to just forget about things and have a great night?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a fantastic show. It's going to be absolutely great, and it's not too far out of New York City. Like you said, it's just over the bridge.
Right around the corner, yeah.
Haledon, New Jersey. So we're looking forward to that so much. Al, thank you so much for taking the time out to hang out with me.
Oh, thank you. And you know what happens with people? We all procrastinate. Then when we finally want to go and do something, we get shut out. So anybody that wants to go get your tickets now, because once it's sold out, it's sold out. And it's one time only that we're going to do this.
Absolutely. So we're so looking forward to that. I want to thank you so much for joining me. And hopefully
you
come back again. Maybe we'll hang out again with Marlene, man.
The first guest on your maiden voyage.
Absolutely.
Your new show. So tell us the platforms you're on. YouTube?
We are on YouTube. We are also on Twitter. We are on Instagram. We are on YouTube Live, Facebook Live. And we have more networks coming up, more social networks we're working on. So
the show is going to be a success, and thank you for the invitation.
Thank you. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining me. And I just want to let everybody know today, to kick off the new Celebrity Spotlight, we have something special. I'm going to do a little bit of a giveaway. We have this book here, which was written by Elaine Franklin. It's called Once Upon a Time in Beverly Hills.
Oh, wow.
Talks all about the showbiz and growing up in showbiz and all that type of thing, and all the pitfalls and the glamours of showbiz. And it's a great book. It's really written, really nice. It's it's a fiction story. And if you want a copy of this, the first person to go to my Facebook page and write write Beverly Hills Once Upon a Time on my page.
I can go. Wait. Well, let me do this now.
I was going to win the book. Just write Once Upon a Time in Beverly Hills on my Facebook page. First person to do that, I'll get in touch with you and I'll mail you out a book.
That's
great.
So
I want to thank Elaine Franklin for donating these books to my show. Once Upon a Time in Beverly Hills. They're fantastic. They're really nice books, and I hope everybody enjoys it as well. Hope you can see that. There you go. All right.
Yeah. Wow. That's great.
Yeah. All right, Al. Well, thank you so much. I want to thank everybody else for listening tonight. And it was a lot of fun. Coming up next week, we have Marvin Scott on Monday, the news legend. He's got so many great stories. He spent the night in the house in Beverly Hills, in Amityville, the Amityville Horror House. He spent the night there. So to talk about that, he's got so many great stories. I'm looking forward to that. So that's next Monday, 7:00. Marvin Scott right here on Celebrity Spotlight. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I really appreciate it. Have a great night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.